Okay, Mary Lou. Your mother, I know, was a wonderful cook, and your mother's name was Marie Louise Moffat McLean Lemire. Right. Um, I know that her father died in a train accident when she was an infant or a small child, and her mother married Hugh McLean, who had been the best man at their wedding. And he turned out to be a terrific father and a terrific husband, and they all moved to Canada. But your mother lived in Grand Forks and came out and met Joe Lemire, and they had a wonderful courtship. But I want to know what kind of a woman she was as a mother. I know she was a good cook. She must have been a lot of fun, and you spent a lot of time with her. Tell me a little bit about her so all the cousins will know what kind of a woman this was.
I think she was unusual because, for one thing, she accepted and got along with all of the in-laws, of the people that her children married. She was best friends. They became her friends too. And I think that's unusual because
yes, I agree.
I never heard her say she disliked anybody in her family or that she didn't like her cousins or anything like that. No. She was, in her own way, she was very religious. She knew the Bible. She had studied the Bible when she was young. She had taught Bible school. And she lived by it, pretty much. And she was very happy. The last time I saw her was about 2 weeks before she died in Helena. We went to see her, and she said, "You can't guess what I did last night." And being bedridden, we said, "No, we couldn't guess." And she said, "I made my first communion." She'd become a Catholic, and she said, "No, we all belong to the same. It's always been the same God, but she said now it's the same church."
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. She was very happy about it. Very happy to be a Catholic.
You know, she lived all those years in Ronan and Polson and went to Spokane and lived in Helena and lived in western Montana or the Great Northwest most of her life. But she had sisters. She had 4 sisters, and our parents were in Winnipeg, and she was really separated from them. I had much of the same situation. I would have given my right arm for a sister to live within 25 miles, and I imagine that she would too. So what was it like to be so separated from family for her, do you think?
She got letters from them all the time. She heard from her mother every 3 weeks, and she wrote to them. Then she got letters from her sisters all the time. I remember reading the letters, and we just knew exactly they had gone on a picnic and they'd done this, and they, you didn't feel like they were so far away, although we knew they were.
Yeah.
And she never did say, "Oh, I wish I'd have been there," or anything like that. She was just, if she didn't get a letter from them when she thought she should, she began to worry right away. She'd say, "Oh, somebody must be sick." She'd start to anticipate what could be. Pretty soon a letter had come. She couldn't wait to rip it open and read it.
I've forgotten how important letters are.
She seemed crazy about her sisters. She had to brush their hair and tend to them a lot, and she seemed very fond of her little sisters. And to me, it was always a wonderment that she could pick up and leave and go so far away and marry this older man who was of a different nationality, different culture almost.
Different language?
Different language. And, and leave her sisters, her little sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought she'd have been so homesick, but she said, "Oh, no, I had the mountains," and she loved to sit on the front porch at night and look at the mountains because they turn, a lavender and then a purple. They really do.
The missions?
The mission range.
They are
see
beautiful.
The mission range. She particularly had them. Well, Daddy had a thing with the contractor over building the house. He said, "May wants a funny-shaped window in the front room, Joe. It isn't going to match all the rest." And he said she wants this big wide window. He said, "Won't match the ones on the side. They won't be." And he said, "Well, you just build her what she wants, because she wants to see the mountains." And he said, "Well, she can go outside to do that." And he said, "No, in the wintertime she wants to look out there." So he said, "Just put it in." He said, "Okay." He said, "It isn't going to match, though." He said, "It isn't going to match." She said, "I got my window."
Yeah, that house still stands. It
And
doesn't
then-
quite look the same, but it
No.
still stands.
And it's pretty inside, though, the way they've done it. It is
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
I just wish I could have moved in. It was pretty. The kitchen is all redone.
When my dad married my mom was not known as the greatest cook in the world. Of course, she had 8 kids, and so she used to say she slung a lot of hash. But I think my dad's mom, just the feeling we got that she was a much better cook, and Dad had higher expectations of dinner. So Mother really tried hard, and she ended up being just dandy. But I think May gave my father huge expectations of how food was supposed to be prepared.
Well, yeah. Well, she had to live up to. The French people dine more elegantly than some people. I mean, we ate on a white linen tablecloth all the time in the dining room, and we all had napkins and napkin rings. And you sat in the same place, and you ate breakfast there, and lunch there, and dinner. And that's the way the French people do.
When we had dinner at home, Mother would put all the food on, and if we had meat, Dad would carve it. And I had a feeling that's what happened.
Yeah, Daddy served our plates. She put all the things up by him, and he filled everybody's plate.
Starting with the youngest.
Mm-hmm. She'd say, Joe, just one spoon apiece for Lois. She doesn't care much for peas, but she will eat them, but just one spoonful. I remember her directing.
Trying to protect you.
So we wouldn't have to sit down here and eat all these meals. And he would oblige. He's a very good father. He built us a playhouse that you could play basketball in. My brothers would practice their basketball in the playhouse.
Oh,
So we knew he loved us.
yeah,
To build a playhouse.
it sounds familiar.
It had a porch and it was screened in. The windows had screens. And
Wow.
marquee curtains for it.
Whoa, the stories that Lois has in the book that she gave to all of us are pretty wonderful and relate some of those stories. But the Lemires are a pretty fascinating family, and I want to tell you a special thank you for telling this story and letting me take photos of you. Thanks, Mary Lou.
Well, it's been a real treat to have you here.